Tonight on Newsbeat, we're coming live from the Capitol as the Louisiana special session comes to a close.
And the results of the LSU student government elections are in. Who will be taking over as president?
Stay with us. Newsbeat starts right now. Good evening and welcome to Newsbeat. I'm Mikala Morgan.
And I'm Brett Hauser. Today was the last day of the Louisiana Special Legislative Session, which means it was the last day to balance the 2016 and 2017 budgets. Reporter Nadine Abusada is live at the Capitol with more.
Governor John Bel Edwards has called the legislature for a special session to discuss the $950 million budget gap. With 30 minutes left of this special session, we are still $27 million short. The governor has signed 8 bills totaling in a revenue of $18 million. Coming to you live from the Capitol, this is Nadine Abusada at Tiger TV.
Go.
Thanks, Nadine. We will be live streaming the governor's press conference regarding the special session at 6 p.m. Tune in to tigertv.tv to watch.
Beer, wine, and liquor will cost just a bit more after House Bill 27 was passed by both the House and Senate today. This increase will contribute $6.7 million to this year's budget and an estimated $25 million to next year's. Supporters of the bill say the increase will help reduce the cuts to higher education and healthcare, while opponents believe the increase is inconsistent with surrounding states.
A cloud of doubt concerning budget cuts hangs over most of the LSU campus, but there are clear skies over Death Valley as football remains protected from cuts. Governor John Bel Edwards previously said if LSU saw any sort of closure, athletes could be deemed ineligible from the NCAA. At this point, the cuts to higher education are predicted to come in around $86 million, which means the flagship will remain open through the end of the year and athletes should remain eligible for the NCAA activities. LSU President F. King Alexander confirmed today the school system will stay open through the end of the year, but not without a cost. Faculty and staff layoffs, as well as Ag Center closures, are expected.
It looks like the student government president will be moving forward. Zach Faircloth and Lindsay Landry won the offices of president and vice president. Faircloth and Landry campaigned on several initiatives, but their focus was the flagship Forward initiative, which would push to establish a permanent student presence at the Capitol. Voting was up from last year, with approximately 30% of the student body participating in this year's elections.
The Baton Rouge Metro Council will meet tonight to discuss several controversial topics. A hospital in North Baton Rouge, as well as amending penalties for marijuana convictions, are up on tonight's agenda. Marijuana use and legalization has been a hot topic of conversation in Baton Rouge for some time now. Reporter Jasmine Ray sat down with some advocates of marijuana to find out how they light up.
Marijuana was legalized in Louisiana in June of 2015. Medicinal, non-smokable marijuana, that is. Recreational marijuana has yet to be voted on, but that isn't stopping people from buying and smoking it. In fact, University of Michigan researchers found that 1 out of 17 college students smoke marijuana daily. Therapeutic Recreation senior Kiara Davis says she is one of them.
Yeah, cope with stress, going to sleep, just the feeling that it gives me.
Some students, like Davis, use marijuana as a focusing mechanism during the semester.
I sit down and I roll my weed up and I smoke. Sometimes I smoke as I study, but most of the time I smoke before so I can be more focused in doing it, and I just go through it with a breeze.
Biology senior Quai Johnson says that smoking makes her feel level-headed and has a social value.
Weed is a very easy way to bond with someone, and so I guess that's one of my easier social tools used.
But what if the bigger issue is marijuana addiction? An addictions counselor, Stella Brown, says marijuana is addictive because it has an addictive substance called THC.
A certain amount of the population become addicts. You know, there's that THC lodges in the fatty tissues, and your brain is fatty tissue.
Davis and Johnson admitted to being addicted to marijuana.
And the idea of using marijuana as a focusing mechanism, that's a myth.
If you're an addict, that relationship with marijuana is so important to you that you will justify You will rationalize.
For more info on marijuana addiction, visit drugabuse.gov.
Reporting for Tiger TV, I'm Jasmine Ray.
When we come back, we take a look at how the weather may affect your weekend plans.
We'll be right back.
A Massachusetts Chipotle restaurant is temporarily closed after one of its workers was diagnosed with the norovirus, a highly contagious virus which can cause vomiting. 2 other workers at the restaurant are suspected of having the virus. There are no reports of ill customers, and this comes after a nearby Chipotle closed after 150 of its customers were diagnosed with the norovirus back in December. Chipotle is still reeling from an E. coli outbreak at several of its U.S. locations. The CDC announced that the outbreak appears to be over at the beginning of February.
Flu cases are on the rise all over the state. Reporter Emily Dillon has the story.
Louisiana has seen a slow start to this year's flu season, but according to local doctors, that is changing.
This particular year, at least the trend that we've seen here at the health center is that we've actually seen more cases just now. So we saw a few in January, we saw about 90 cases or confirmed cases in February, and then already the first week of March we've seen about 40 cases. So we really are kind of seeing the peak cases here at the health center at the end of what is typically flu season.
According to recent data from Columbia University, flu cases have doubled since the beginning of February.
I got the flu shot from the Student Health Center last semester around October, November, and it was when they were giving out free flu shots, and I ended up getting the flu last week and was sick from Friday to Wednesday.
In a recent Advocate article, flu expert Dr. Frank Welch said that he suspected the slow start to this year's flu season was due to Louisiana's warm weather. When people aren't spending large amounts of time indoors, the flu doesn't spread as quickly.
Typically, if you get the vaccine and you still get the flu, you typically get a milder case of the flu, so it still can provide some protection. So we still are encouraging students to come in if they have not gotten the vaccine. We have about 100 or so remaining here at the health center, and those are free to full-time students.
For Tiger TV, I'm Emily Dillon.
For those feeling under the weather, it may be the perfect time to cuddle up with a blanket and some hot cocoa. Today's overcast skies and scattered rains are only the beginning of a major storm. The National Weather Service has posted flash flood warnings for much of Louisiana through Thursday morning. Baton Rouge and surrounding areas should see 4 to 7 inches of rain this weekend. At this point, there is only a slight chance of severe weather warnings, but potentially destructive thunderstorms are likely to hit west of the capital city. Over the next 5 days, highs will remain in the high 70s to mid 80s with lows hovering around the mid to low 60s. As I said earlier, we will be definitely seeing some thunderstorms this weekend, but the clouds should clear up by Sunday. Back to Brett at the desk.
The end of midterms is always a reason to celebrate, and this weekend, LSU students will have plenty of opportunity to do so. The 31st Annual St. Patrick's Day Parade will roll through the capital city on Saturday. The parade will begin at Acadian and 100 Oaks before making its way through the Garden District and down Perkins Road. Rain or shine, the Buku Music and Art Project will be taking place on Thursday through Saturday at Mardi Gras World in New Orleans. Kid Cudi, Fetty Wap, and A$AP Ferg are set to headline the weekend's events. We'll be right back. Pass the marinara sauce. Today is National Meatball Day. Some call it the best Italian comfort food, but did you know there are dozens of varieties of meatballs? Find your favorite restaurant or make your own today.
And happy birthday to an American icon, Barbie. The Barbie doll made its debut at the American International Toy Fair in New York on March 9th in 1959. Did you know Barbie has a full name? It's Barbara Millicent Roberts. The first doll sold for about $3. Today, Barbies are sold worldwide in more than 150 countries.
That's all the time we have tonight, but don't forget to check out all of our content on our website, tigertv.tv.
And follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at LSU Tiger TV.
Have a great evening, Tigers.